we'll wait for a couple of more minutes for more people to join, and then we will get started. We'll wait for a minute more. All right. I think we are good. We have like few people already joined, and maybe like some of them will join more. And in consideration of the people who are not able to join, maybe like for whatever reason, we are going to record this webinar and share with the people who are not able to join us. So very first, good afternoon to everyone, and thanks a lot for taking up this challenge, registering for one of the unique construction AI hackathon, um, showing your interest in solving the complex construction problems, and very thankful for taking out time and joining this webinar. So, quickly introduce myself um, and our tech team over here. So, myself, Omkar, part of a CTI, working into the construction technology since a decade, trying to solve all these complex problems over here. And that's where like it drives for us to have this hackathon and have all of you guys over here to be part of it. I have Pralipa, Ishan, Sarthak, and Ridin, who are also part of this technical team and who are going to support us throughout this hackathon period for any doubts or any support that you guys need during your execution phase. So I would just like you to know them. They have their cameras on so that you can see them too. So thank you guys for joining and also preparing all of this for people who have joined over here. I'm assuming that most of you guys might have already seen the email coming from us about the Word document which explains the problem statement. But today we will go a little bit into the depth of this problem statement and understand um, the little bit background about this process. Because we believe, like any technical problem that we need to solve, could be best and give a very best result only we understand the process behind it, the domain knowledge behind it. And here we are going to understand that as well as like the problem statement and know more about it. So we will start and we'll have like this overall overview for next 20-25 minutes. Till then, I would just request to ensure like our mics are mute so that everyone is able to hear out. In case if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand so that we can go one by one and address those questions, or else feel free to put that in the chat. So the technical team and all of us would be able to answer your questions parallelly in the chat if required. But I would just prefer like let's go through the entire understanding of the problem statement and let's address the question later that. Hope it works with everyone. Please confirm if you guys are able to see my screen. Okay, awesome. So here we are into Construction Technology Day 2026 AI Contact Hackathon. And this time we are into the edition two after a successful first edition and having a design management for MEP as our problem statement to solve. Unlike other hackathons, this is not a one-day hackathon. This is going to be a 3-week long hackathon where you're going to work in the team of four maximum or alone based on your confidence and your comfort level. But we are suggesting to have one construction domain expert with you along with the three technical experts like whosoever come from computer background, AI background, or whatever so that you get a very good support from a construction expert to understand the drawings. Because as of all of us know that construction comes whenever it comes with like the drawings in the hand. We are standing on a side and it's never happened like, okay, we'll start bending like this. We come with the drawings. We come with the 2D drawings in front of us, which are the contractual documents and the foundation, the baseline for construction. And that's where today we are going to touch directly the foundation or the base point of a construction to solve a very major problem of this industry. So when we say MEP, that very first of all stands for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. As of now, all of us probably like, though we might be part of a construction background, they might know, but those who are not part of a construction background might have heard just about the architects, the architectural drawings, sometimes structural drawings, columns, beams. हम लोग usually उसको pillars बोल देते हैं. But that is what we know in terms of drawing. We rarely might have happened to hear like there are so much of things happening behind the scenes of construction other than architectural and structural. There are also other disciplines called as mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Now what does this do? Plumbing, we know it. Electrical, we understand it. Mechanical, okay, something, what exactly it means. So whatever like you see as the AC vents, if you're sitting in an office or if you go into the mall, there are like the AC vents or the ducts from where like cool air is really calming you down in the environment and making it more better with the help of HVAC system is the mechanical discipline. Electrical, all of us know what it means. And plumbing, of course, like it's like we probably need it on day-to-day basis. Some of us or other person, some of us like still finding like, hey, I need a plumber. Can you please send me? So we know that discipline too. But it have a very big whole planning behind it, how it really happens and designs even before construction to ensure there is a seamless construction process happening and there are no conflicts around it. So that is where exactly you see on the screen what we are going to do. We are going to check HVAC routes. Now you understand HVAC, the AC vents and the pipelines for those AC vents going above us. Are there any structural conflicts? Are there any kind of a relocations of panel happening? Are there any kind of like the coordination issues that are happening? And we'll go into the detail of this, but that is what this problem statement is framed around. So understanding like the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, the complex hidden nervous systems of modern infrastructure, we here are, first of all, to work on the 2D drawings, not on 3D. So the left side of photo, I've intentionally put it over here for you to know, like, okay, where we stand above that, just below a slab to the ceiling, there is so much of lightings happening. These are the big ducts, which actually gives you the cool air. These are the pipelines under duct lines, which is pulling that. These are the electrical trays, which is putting all the electrical utilities over here. And this is a real picture so that you understand what kind of a need or a mesh is happening just to give such a good kind of feel to any building or any house. And that is all is designed on the drawings, which you see on the right side. And that becomes so chaotic in the 2D drawings, where your challenge is to untangle this chaos. So it's nothing, but we want to translate the construction into the code. We are now understand MEP. That is what the domain data and the ground truth means. But now let's see, like if you try to solve the problem, what it's going to solve. They are going to solve a very major processes of a construction, which takes a lot of time to solve and needs a very heavy accuracy in order to ensure like whatever work is doing done on the site is not rework or we are not spending the extra amount on it. When it comes to construction, a one single mistake can cost us high, including our labor, including material, including like rework, and including, the quality of the construction. As construction comes with a heavy liability into this industry, because wherever we are standing towards, we need our safety to be there, right? And for that, we need to be more accurate. And that's exactly where we are playing a very vital role in solving this problem. So when we are trying to focus on this MEP drawings and going to identify the objects within it, it's going to solve three major processes. Quantity takeoffs, it means how many items are there. Constructability review means can this be built as designed or we need any changes? Are there going to be any conflicts? Are there any safety issues? Or we need to reconsider design? Drawing review and change analysis. So over the period, even if you're building your house, you keep on renovating the things or keep on changing the things. Or let's say if you're building it from scratch, you say like, okay, I need the vitrified tiles, which looks very elegant in my house. But, 1 month later, you say like, hey, no, I probably need an Italian marble. And all these changes are going to impact the schedule that is happening because you need to again check if it is available in the market, if it is going to get procured on time, if it is probably like there is change in the cost. Of course, the cost is going to change, but again, we have to see like if it still fits into your budget. So what has changed between the versions? From the time we decided to design till the time we are going to the execution, all of these changes needs to be tracked. So these are the very three major workflows of a construction which are going to addressed, get addressed by solving a problem which we see at the right side. So what we have to do as the AI experts is like do the instance segmentation and object counting using AI, computer vision. We have to figure out the spatial logic and rule-based validations if required, and we have to do the anomaly detection and contextual search. From which, for this hackathon, we focus on object detection and spatial identification. We don't go into the rule-based validation or anomaly detection as of now in this hackathon, but part of this is also so major that if it is solved, it's going to support these three major processes of construction. So here is like your mission, guys. From static pixel to the structure insights. We are going to have the mechanical drawings and the plumbing drawings, which feed into the AI model and help us to identify the objects and count them, do the measurements and tracing of the lines, and get that output into a structured data extraction, could be a JSON or a CSV. We focus just on this specific part to solve a problem, which is eventually going to solve these processes. So your hackathon mission is to build a core AI capabilities in detecting and counting measuring and tracing that will eventually power automated workflows like Qt and Drawing. Now let's understand how this challenge frameworks looks like. So we have divided this problem statement into four levels. Understanding the real impact of each of this level, understanding the level of effort required, and kind of probably the understanding we really need to make into it. We have also assigned the percentage of the weightage in terms of marking system that we need to do in this. So very level one is to detect and count objects. So as we saw in the drawings, and we'll see it ahead, we have to detect the object, count them, and make it more quantifiable. 35% of a total weightage lies to the level one because it really needs a major research, the level of efforts put into it, and a very good kind of a technical depth that we really need to go into. Level two becomes a little bit tougher because now you're going into the linear objects. Identifying the spot object is pretty much okay, but now going to the linear is what where you have to trace the entire line of the pipe and measure that into the actual measurement that might be there on the side. So you have to also understand the scale of a drawing and convert your measurements as per those scales. That's where like the level two comes. So we have like 40% of weightage kept because it is a little bit more higher. Now, when we do this too, can I make it a little bit easy with the help of AI for the people to understand using Copilot? If I give a drawing to a Copilot and I ask like, okay, what are the linear objects in this drawing? And can you help me like how many HVAC ducts or systems are there? And gives me the count as well as like the linear measurement for it. Becomes pretty much more easier for a superintendent, engineer, or project executives who are being there on the sites and becomes very easy in terms of making it more seamless. But the level four is like the cherry on the cake that we have kept. Transform something innovative that you feel. You have a construction expert in your team, right? He may understand like, hey, we are solving these three things, but it's going to add more value if we solve something more along with that. And we want to give that 10% of that domain understanding, that innovation that you guys can come with, along with your domain expert, and solve something different, something more that this construction industry needs. So we'll understand the level little bit into the depth. Level one is give the machine eyes. As I said, identify the objects. So detect and identify the count specific MEP components in the drawing. Generalize across varying drawing layouts, symbol, and sheet scales. So it could be like different in terms of different drawings, but you have to generalize that and ensure like, okay, this is called as electrical receptacle, or this is an electrical switch, or this is a mechanical duct, and have a bounding box around it. Locate it, identify it, detect it, measure it, and count it. So generate the bounding boxes, segmentation mask with confidence score, the way you see over here, and let the output be into a structured metadata, could be JSON or CSV, to support the design validation. Level two is like trace the pathway. 40% of it, you can see it little bit complex all over here. You see a plan, you see this ducts going across as per my mouse cursor is going, but you see like one is in highlighted orange. Though these things are going across, the expected output is how can I really trace which duct starts from where it goes all, and where it ends? Would I be able to understand this using AI? Even after having so many disturbances in the middle. And that's exactly makes this problem a little bit more complex and challenging for all of you guys to solve it. So here is where you have to detect the linear objects, could be AC vents, plumbing pipes, etc. Maintain the structural continuity across the noisy sheets. Calculate accurate real-world lengths using scale logic. And see like the length is mentioned over here, 45.2 meters, scale is 1:100. So you have to convert that and identify. Maybe if on the sheet I just scale it, it could be like 10 centimeters. But what does that scale looks like when it comes to the meters? And how what would be the real length of it if it is on the side? So you have to calculate the accurate real world length using scale logic and detect the connectivity and component relationships. So where it is connected and what the component relationships are there. We need to identify that. Sorry. Level three, give the machine a voice. as we spoke, like, okay, natural language querying around it, engineering summaries, interactive reviews, and evaluation focus. Can I ask a question to a drawing after having the object detection linear measurements done and just get an answer in a second? You can see example over here as expected output. How many ASQ vents are on floor 2? Are there any disconnected plumbing pipes? I detected 14 vents. Like, this is what you see over here. I'm just going to take a pause because I just got to know like my camera is off, but I want to ensure that I'm audible too. Hey guys, um, that's on, right? Hey guys, I just want to confirm and someone can unmute and say like if you guys are experiencing any lag in the PowerPoint presentation while I'm speaking, can someone quickly confirm about it? Yes. Okay. So let me quickly see. Which screen are you are able to see? The level 3 one? Okay. So I'll quickly confirm the slide that you are seeing, and then only I'll start my um you know the explanation around it. So level 3 says like can I make it more into easy in terms of asking a question to a drawing after I'm doing the object detection and linear measurement and everything. Just for example, as you see over here, how many AC vents are on floor? Are there disconnected plumbing pipes? And I get the answer. I detected 14 AC vents. There are two orphaned pipes in sector C. Orphaned means they are not connected to anyone. Would you like me to highlight the spatial coordinates? Okay. So it's getting like bit more smarter and AI is helping the construction getting more and more smarter and seamless to work directly on the site instead of looking at the drawings now. So quick confirmation. Are you able to see the level 4 slide now? I'm going to take a minute. I'm not sure. There is some lag with my network, but yeah. So I see like you're able to see the level 4. And this is what the innovation bonus looks like. I'm just giving an idea about innovation bonus, but this is something that, as I mentioned, with all your knowledge, with all your talent and skill, with all your construction domain expert teammate, come with what innovation you can do. But example, let's say if you overlay mechanical, electrical, plumbing together, and then say this electrical pipe is going to conflict with this mechanical pipe, or there is like a coordination issue when we do the cross discipline. This is something could be innovative. Or if you're able to integrate, or maybe like, whatever computer vision model you try to build, if you are also able to integrate that 2D one with the 3D one, with the Beam, Revit, or IFC file, I think that is something innovative. This is just an example. I'm not saying like you have to do this, but this could be one option that could be made as an innovation bonus. And you can think of more and try to solve it accordingly. So we'll understand how the winning formula looks like. As a part of an evaluation, we are going to focus on the math, then the code, the impact that you put, and how polished it is. Could be like the precision recall that we need, could be the speed and the robustness of your model. I know it's a computer vision. I know you're going to really work on high GPU, some maybe in a way. Maybe also you may need a good computing power in terms of loading the drawings if you're working on a vectors to understand the clarity and give the output into the clarity. So the speed and robustness matters a lot. The code should be very well structured. Code quality should be nice. The impact that is really going to happen. Are you really reducing the manual effort? Is it practically used or not? And how polished your output looks like. How easy explainable it is. That is where like real evaluation will happen. A perfect MVP score means nothing if the interface is unusable or an inference part is slow. So victory needs a balance, how it really is measured. So in the Word document, you might have already gone through some of the stuff added over there, but let's understand a little bit on how to push into the product, right? So we have like a dedicated team repositories created by our team, and you have to push your complete source code and dependencies over there. There are two formats in which you can do. One could be like directly having a PYNB file pushing into it end-to-end flow, or second is a deployed web application must include app source code and the deployment setup instruction. But considering while deployment, if you are needing a high computing power to deploy it, and that's if that is not available for you, you can also feel free to push your code and everything so that we can run and check, which is of course needed because code quality is one of our measuring criteria. But to make it more prominent and to make it more better in terms of polishing it, you can record a video and also upload it. So that is one way of doing it if you are not able to deploy because of high computation that is required to deploy. So guys, that's where we are. Now we understand what this construction looks like. Now we understand how complex it is, what happens behind the scenes. Now we know like, okay, what really like the engineers and architects have to go through to give you a very good house or a very good, structure or a building to live with, even if it is office or commercial or a hotel or a hospital or a school building or your own house. And that's what we want to make it more easy by solving this complex problem. So let's come together. Let's build the future of construction using AI and make the second CTD edition of AI Hackathon more challenging and accept this challenge. You can check your GitHub repos and you will start getting the email about it to access that. You will be able to access the dataset from today onwards on the GitHub. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And you can start coding from now. I'll take a pause. I'm going to unshare my screen and start seeing into the questions. Feel free to ask if you have any doubts. But please raise your hand so that we don't mix up in the voice. If there are no doubts, I'm going to have like two assumptions that you guys have really understood it well, or else you haven't understood anything. But feel free to ask because unless and until you understand the problem statement, your solution is not going to be really awesome. Okay, so I see one in the chat and then I see like some hands getting raised. So how the interface should be, either it's like a chatbot or any other. I think that's where you have to, Mahesh, that's where like you really have to think like how you can make someone's life easy. The level three says like the co-pilot. So of course chatbot is required. But along with that, if you want to make it feel like, okay, where the drawing sheet is and how the things are being, marked on the drawing sheets, you might have to think of the UI in that perspective too. So I would say, put yourself in the shoes of engineer. I'm asking you, as an engineer, I ask a question on a drawing and I just get an answer. Are you making an engineer's life easy? So just think from that perspective and try to make the UI as best as you can for someone who are trying to solve problem for. What is the last date we can register for the event? Honestly, the last date was last Friday, but we have still kept it open for this week. You can register and join, but unless and until you register, you won't be able to get the access to the GitHub repos and the dataset, anything. So if there is someone or anyone who have joined this webinar but haven't registered, you won't be able to be part of the hackathon and because you won't be able to get the access to any of this. Once you register, we get your email IDs. You will get a form to submit the information about your GitHub usernames, and then you will get the access to it. So we are keeping the registration still open for this week. But when I say that, that doesn't change your deliverable date. Whosoever register this week still have to deliver it on the same date like everyone is going to do, to be fair enough with everyone. It's just like, okay, I can complete this problem statement in 2 weeks instead of 3 weeks, so I can still register and participate and do it. Yeah, of course. So we are going to be open for this week to register, but your deliverable date is not going to change. It's going to be the same. Just because you have registered late or starting late, the timeline is not going to get pushed. I hope that answers your question. Sir, where can we access this recorded video? So we may probably like put this back on the YouTube channel of CTAI. And we will also send out this recorded link in the email as a communication. Also, we will have this posted, the link posted on the LinkedIn or social media for people to really access it. So please look for this link maybe in a couple of days coming across to you guys in the email. Is there any restriction on the tools we are allowed to use? Um, so, so there is it, right? We are in the era of AI. We can't restrict anyone using any tool, honestly. Otherwise, that doesn't make a sense of having an AI hackathon. You guys can use the tools. You guys can probably take the help of whichever tool you want, but it can't be a copy paste. It can't be, I just gave it to the cloud and said like, hey, write the code for this. And it solved it. I copied it and pasted over here. We are going to be able to really locate like if that is the AI generated code or what it is, because we have such tools which can help us to evaluate all this. Secondly, when we have the measuring criteria as being mentioned over there as part of the math, the code, the usability, scalability, the future of it, and the polishedness of it. All of this is going to be evaluated very strictly. We are not stopping anyone from using any AI tool, but at the same time, it can't be just generated code. Even if you are able to generate the code, there are a lot of things that are going to get examined behind it. So please ensure like how you make this solution more smarter and as required. How we can see the data set, whether they're sending email. The data set is uploaded on the GitHub, right? So once you get the access to the GitHub repos, you should be able to access the one. So you should get the GitHub repos access today by EOD, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Awesome. How we can see, sorry, what would be the data of beam model? It is provided or we have to create a data, and what are the elements to be identified in EV? So it's not going to be a beam model because we are not working on 3D. We are going to work on the 2D model. So you're going to get the drawings. You don't have to create a data. We are going to provide you the data and what elements to be identified in AMP. Some samples of it will be given. Rest is where exactly like why we are proposing to have a construction domain expert, because they would understand the drawings and would be able to tell, okay, these elements needs to be identified usually in a mechanical, electrical, or plumbing drawing, and that can help you to identify those. Yes, Pralita.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add that you will get the data. However, you can augment it if you want to. You can add on external data if you are finding from Google or anything. So you are allowed to do that. Yeah.
Anything else? Any more questions? Are you guys clear? Were you able to understand and grasp the problem statement? Okay. If you guys are very clear, if you were able to understand the problem statement very well, and seems like, okay, hey, we are awesome and good to go to code now, please help us with the feedback in the chat um, to know like if this webinar was really helpful for you to understand the problem statement, because that really matters a lot for us. And we will also get to know, okay, all the participants who are participating understand the problems well now. And we'll be excited to see like how this hackathon goes or what kind of help we really need to do for you guys. So please start putting your feedbacks like if you are very clear and understand that. Till then, I'm going to take two more questions which I see in the chat. We have to annotate the data. Yes. I mean, depends. It depends actually. Do you want to annotate or you want to use any other models? Completely use that.
Yeah, we are providing annotated data, but they can augment it. So if they're taking outside data, they will either have to augment it or they can use other rules to do that.
Yeah. How the evaluation be like? Whether we need to push in GitHub really? Oh, awesome. That's a good point. Sorry, I missed on that. Thanks, Mahesh. So we are expecting you to push the code in the GitHub every Friday. So, and that is kind of a real rule that we are trying to put because if you push your code entirely just at once in the last day, probably like that becomes hard to evaluate. But pushing the code every Friday, 3 weeks means 3 times a push. We understand like how the things are going. We understand that you are still active on the problem statement and you are a part of a hackathon. And we are able to evaluate your codes accordingly. So please push your codes in the GitHub repository every Friday. You will definitely get an email every Friday, every Thursday night or Friday morning as a reminder to push your code. So keep an eye for it and ensure that you're pushing your codes. Anything else? Will there be any mentor for the groups or there will be a common forum for queries? So we have this email ID through which like you're getting the communications. So for anything, any queries, you can just email us on that email ID. We are very active on that and we can respond back over there. I believe like we don't have a community this time created. You can also basically you can also use the GitHub repos, put any comments or anything there. Yeah. Can use the GitHub repos as well to put any comments or queries over there. We'll be looking into it and answering over there. Copilot can be just LLM working in the tandem with CV models once they evaluate on the 2D file during uploads. Yes. Anything else? Yeah. Does anyone want to add something? No, just answering on this particular question. Can Copilot work in tandem with CV models? So yeah, you can use that particular thing. Or if you are having a different type of solution that you have in your mind, you can also try to implement. Anything more? All right. Can you please help us to know like if this webinar was helpful for you with your comments in the chat? Awesome. Okay. So I see you guys have understood the problem statement really well now. Cool. If we all are good, and if there are no more questions, maybe we can call off this webinar and keep ourselves active, challenge ourselves, and let's pull up our sleeves and start accepting this challenge to solve it within the 3 weeks. I would really like to mention, the Construction Technology Day is one of the biggest contact event that happens in the world. Um, Organized by Construction Technology Alliance Institute, which comes with a very core objective of bringing this construction ecosystem together and having the technology being part of this so that you know like what exactly you're participating and the story behind this. CTAI is a non-profit organization formed with the people from the construction team or the industry. A lot of people, a lot of CEOs, some professors from Stanford, some big CTOs from US, venture capitalists, and some more big players from the Indian construction industry are being part of this, who are trying to really work with one objective of bringing technology in the construction. If you visit ctai.in, I'm going to drop the website link over here. You will be able to see what exactly like the CTAI does. And with that, there is a construction technology day which is being um, probably like organized in October. This year, we have that in 8th and 9th of October in IIT Bombay. Whosoever win or stands into the top six will be able to attend this event, and out of which top three are able to present on the big stage of this construction technology day in front of the all the big CEOs and the venture capitalists in front of everyone over there during this event. And the top two gets the cash prize of 50,000 and 1 lakh respectively. So it's really a big initiative with a very, 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 very big intent and the objective trying to solve for this industry. And you guys are accepting a very big challenge to help this industry and solve the problems for this industry, along with challenging ourselves to see how really a technology can put into someone's real life in the real world problem statement. So that's where I would really like you guys to pull up your sleeves and start working on this and accept this challenge and see like how it really goes. I'm putting some links over here so that you know about CTAI, you know about Hackathon, and you also know about the event this time. Pralipa have probably already sent a message about to ensure that you fill out the team information in the Google form that has been provided in the email with the correct GitHub username to receive the access in the dataset. If that is not filled or if the information is not correct, it's going to be hard to get the access for you guys. So with this, we would really like to thank you all for taking up a challenge, for taking out a time and being part of the webinar, and looking forward for all the enthusiasm and curious to see your solutions. It's going to be hard for us even to evaluate you guys. Seeing all the curiosity that I see in the chat and the questions that I see, I really feel very curious. And I know like it's going to be a very good job for us. We'll probably try to do, of course, we'll do it with more based way. Um, and looking forward to see your solutions and soon into the CTD event. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.